Your ops team asks the same question over and over to your clients. The client gets frustrated and you lose a client. The truth is, this is avoidable, and we solved that problem in my agency. We built what we call the client brain using NotebookLM. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I set that up and build a free SOP for you as well so you can implement it in your business. So the first thing that you need is Google Drive. NotebookLM is a Google Drive tool, so it works in that ecosystem. So go to NotebookLM and just get started here. I will work all this together with you. So you just can create a new one. And you'll see here that there's a few options. I'm using a free plan just so you can see it. My team uses a paid plan, but all the main features are here. So we have some really cool workarounds too that I'm gonna show you how to do some mass uploads in a second. But the first thing you can do is upload files. So what we would do is upload an onboarding document. We would upload any information we have about an individual and their business. So typically at our agency, when someone comes on, we have a whole bunch of information in the CRM already. So we put all of that into their folder. So you can also add in YouTube links. So you can add in their YouTube channels and things like that right here. And I'll show you a way. You used to have to do a workaround, but they added this. We can add multiple links at once. I'll show you how to grab an entire channel's links at one time so you can upload every video that person's ever done, which is really, really powerful. And then in here, you have a couple other things. You can link to your Google Drive and you can copy plain text. But another new feature with NotebookLM is you can do deep research on a client. So let's go ahead and do deep research on, and we're gonna do this all on Alex Hormozi just because everyone knows Alex, and Alex would be a great client to work with. So we'll just pull up his YouTube.
Other 50% are HOAs.
Okay, so in this deep research functionality, we're gonna go ahead and put a prompt in here, and I'm going to have it search the web, and I want to do deep research. So this does take a few minutes, but basically I'm saying do research on Alex Hormozi, look up his current businesses, including acquisition.com, and then build out information as if we were gonna run a PR campaign. So we wanna be specific with what we're looking for, especially with higher tier or larger companies that we're working with. So some of our companies or businesses or clients are very, very large, and some of them are smaller. So we need to give it exactly what it's looking up. So the other things we have over here is we'll walk through what you can do once you have this set up. But the magic is it's gonna give us a list of documents. We're gonna import those documents and then we can have conversations back and forth. And then this is where it really solved the problem for my team, because again, my team would do a call with a client, they would record the call, but then we would switch teams, there'd be a different writer, or it'd be a few months and no one really remembered what happened. And we had a Google document that had all the questions that had been asked and put it in there, but it wasn't really usable. People couldn't go back and forth, they couldn't have conversations with it. So now what my team does is we do deep research as we're onboarding that client. We put in all their onboarding information, all their FAQs, we take the call transcriptions and we put it in here, and then we build a living document based around this client. So let's call this one Alex, and it's still doing research. In the meantime, what I wanted to show you is a free tool that I found that'll help me grab YouTube transcriptions. So basically, or the URL. So basically we want to go to Alex's videos right here, and there's so many videos. And if Alex was a client of mine, he would have expected me to know a lot about him because he put so much content out. Obviously, he's gonna have his own goals with working with a PR agency like mine, but he wants to know exactly what to do. So the tool is called GrabIt. It's a Chrome extension. You can add it in. And what it's gonna allow us to do is grab all those URLs so that way we can upload the video content and basically clone Alex into NotebookLM on top of the deep research it's currently doing. So once you download it, it's gonna look like this. You have to make a quick little shortcut. So we're gonna do add new shortcut. I already created it, but I'll show you. And then you're gonna have some options here. So I did left click and then shift, and I'll tell you what these mean in a second. It doesn't really matter. And then we're gonna copy to clipboard, and then you'll save it. I already have this on. So basically when I hit shift and select, or shift and mouse click, it'll copy all the URLs. So we just hit shift on my keyboard, and now I'm coming down here and I'm copying URLs. And the whole system works really quick. So I'm gonna just grab the first 76 URLs, 94. So that should be copied in my clipboard. So here are the deep research it did, and we can see the actual files. The cool thing is we can hand select which ones we want to actually import. So I can import all of these, I can import some of them. And then you should be able to click on them and view them. Yeah, right here. So this is more information. So I don't need to import this one, and I don't need to, let's see. So you want to hand pick what you actually want imported to make sure you're getting the right information. But let's just go ahead and See, I'm gonna unselect all and I'm just gonna pick a few so that way we don't overuse this and take too long. So import, now that that's importing, you see they're being added, they've all been added. Now let's add some additional sources. We're gonna add those YouTube videos. We're gonna come in here, and again, I don't want this to take forever, and it actually works really quick, but I'm gonna go ahead and just grab the first couple. And you'll see there's other links in here. I have vidIQ set up, but that shouldn't cause any issues. So let's just grab there. So we're just doing 3 so you guys can see it, but there you go. So they're importing, and now basically what we do is we continue to add documents every time we work with Alex. If we have a phone call, if there's a new YouTube video, we can link all of this. We can do some stuff automated, but now we have an area where we can chat back and forth. And so I can have this conversation with Alex and say, so I'm asking the AI to give me a quote from Alex based on his new book and lead generation. So obviously we can get more specific with this and go back and forth. And there's some really cool settings I want to show you that really help make this more meaningful in a second. Okay, so it started giving me some information and I can have a conversation back and forth with it to learn more and ask questions. But one of the things that is really important here is how we actually prompt this. So I always customize what my outputs look like. So whether I have goals, how I want these answers. So what I'm gonna use is ChatGPT. So one of the biggest things with AI, especially as it gets smarter and smarter, is it's not gonna be how good you are at using tools like N8N and Zapier. It's gonna be how good you are at building SOPs and knowledge so that they can actually run. It's really gonna be on that side, and the developer side is gonna go basically away because AI is gonna just do it for you. So I can grab this. Again, I'm not really reading anything. I'm just kind of throwing it together for you guys to get started. I can put this prompt in here. You see that it was you have plenty of room to make this super long prompt, and I like really short answers here. So we've now educated us a little bit more on what we want to do. And now again, this is your core tool where you can have conversations back and forth. So instead of asking a client, what is your position on this? What are your recent product releases? You can continuously update this tool and put hundreds of sources in here so it gets smarter and smarter and is able to help you and your clients have a better relationship. So that way when you come to them, you can say, hey, I did some research. I just want to confirm, can you approve this? So you're changing that workflow with your clients. Now there's a few other features in here that are really cool. So it will save this chat now, which it didn't used to, and you can just delete it and start over if you want. And again, over here is where it gets even more fun. A lot of this is going to be more on kind of what you use. It may not really help you or that client, but especially if you have a high profile client, you might want to take a quiz before you work with that client. So set up a quiz and say something like, help me create a quiz. I have an onboarding call with Alex. I want to make sure that I know some key information about his business so that way I come off as prepared. Another thing you could do is do an audio overview of the information that's been provided. So obviously he has 4,000 videos on YouTube. And if you want to get that down into a few minutes, which maybe a 20-minute video or audio, you could do that right here, which are really, really cool. They have the video overviews. I think mind maps are also incredible. So you can dive into what this person knows. So I'm going to have it generate. And with all of these, you can do the same thing. So the important thing is to prompt these. So right now I have it making a mind map, but I didn't give it clear instructions. So let's just see what it comes up with. And it worked pretty quick because there's not a lot of sources here. So if Alex is one of our clients and we want to figure out what he knows, it just mind maps what he's talking about in his last couple of videos. So let's talk about talent and culture. Let's say we want to run some PR about talent and culture. It's going to pull up A players and more information. And now it's just diving deeper in there. Let's say we want to learn more about what Alex is saying about A players, because Alex talks a lot about bringing the right people to help you grow your business. And it is so true. So true, in fact, that with my agency, recruiting became one of the most important systems that allowed us to scale to a 2-time Inc. 5000 business. So we'll jump right in here and it'll continue to just give us more information. So again, with your agency, they can learn about this client. So if you're SEO, if you're marketing, if you're anything that works with these clients, you can dive deep into their brain and really, really impress them as you deep into getting this more, just all their information. It's just a really incredible tool. So the mind maps are awesome and very useful for client-facing functionalities. Again, you can do the audio, the video, the mind maps. You can do reports, flashcards, quizzes. Infographics are something that I think is really cool. So let's just have it create one. I like the concise ones. I'm not gonna give it a prompt again, but the prompts are gonna be really, really critical. That's how you get out the information you actually need. So you could put this into your strategy plan. You can add it into different things. You can help it communicate something in a pitch. If you're doing marketing, you can use it in SEO when you're writing a blog. So it's gonna create that mind map. You can also do slide decks, and NotebookLM is getting really powerful where you actually can go in and edit these things. One of the really powerful things is, let's just say that acquisition.com hired us and not Alex. So if we wanted to work with acquisition.com, we were probably gonna work with multiple executives. So each executive would probably have their own NotebookLM. And then what you can do in Gemini now is, let's come up here and grab a new source, and then we can come in here and we can link it to our NotebookLM, and then I can have it look up Alex. Gemini has a little bit of a wider knowledge base, and so it knows more about everything, but you can add in multiple knowledge bases. So if you were working with Alex and Layla and their sales director and whoever, you could put all of these in here and start having conversation back and forth with multiple personalities from the company and get a bigger picture, but then also have it do additional web research and other things built in. So this becomes super powerful. So I put in a prompt, basically tell me how Alex is working with his main business, acquisition.com, and how I, as a systems person, could help maybe potentially systemize their business. So again, this would work even better if I had one on Layla and the rest of the team, because it would help me find spots where they might need additional help and resources. And this is gonna allow me to maybe pitch them better or just to service them better. Again, at Founder Systems AI, we're a course and community that helps business owners systemize their business with systems just like this. We wanna make your job easier so the business kind of runs without you and you can scale without putting more of your time in. So it gave me an answer and I like it and it's perfect. I can't explain how incredible this is and how much it's helped my team prevent questions back and forth and really ask the right questions when they're working with clients. Just made one. Some of them are really, really good. Again, it's based on the prompt. So let's change this prompt right here and I'll show you what that looks like. So I wanna know what core systems Alex is working with and I want an infographic. So again, the more information and more sources you have in here, the better the data is gonna come. But you can do this with slides and all of these other tools. So another thing that's really powerful about NotebookLM for your organization, your agency, is that you can share this with your team. So you get all these sources in here, and then anyone in the team can use the information to make sure that you're not asking questions over and over again. And my team is required, anytime they do a call, they actually upload the transcript into this. So again, we're getting smarter and smarter, and we're making sure we don't ask those questions again. All right, so I just loaded the new one and we can take a quick look at it. And again, the better these prompts are, the better results are gonna be. And I'm actually using this in a lot of my courses. There you go. This is much better. So leads, sales, delivery, profit. So this starts to paint a picture of what Alex's brain looks like and what he wants to teach people. Now, how powerful will that be for your clients as they build that relationship, and your team as they build that relationship, so that way you build a longer retention and a bigger trust with your clients. I built an SOP that shows you exactly how to implement this into your business so you can start training your staff how to implement that today. If you want that, grab it in the description. If you want to learn more about Founder Systems AI, the course in the community, how we teach people to systemize their business and scale past 7 figures, grab the link as well down in the description. Thank you.